Hey everyone, going to answer some more of your fitness and health questions. So let's get into it. So first one, should I cut out fat out of my diet? No. So the conception that fat makes you fat is wrong. That fat increases your cholesterol is wrong. Fat is a very important macronutrient. So it helps if I keep it very basic, it helps make a lot of your hormones and your cell health. It also is good for energy source as well for some people. But the reason people think fat makes them fat is because fat is quite calorie dense. So 1 gram of protein has 4 calories, 1 gram of carbohydrates has 4 calories, but 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. So that means for the same size, or the same literal size of protein, carbs and fat, you're getting more calories from fat. So that's why things like butter, nuts, nut butters, oils, they're packed full of calories for a very small amount because they're very calorie dense foods. So it's not that fat makes people fat, it's the fact they over consume calories from fat that can make them fat. So no, you shouldn't cut fat out from your diet. There's a correct amount for people to function healthily, and fat's really vital for human function, so you shouldn't cut fat out from your diet. If you have trans fats, which are processed fats that are found in loads of foods, particularly vegetable oil, you should cut that fat out of your diet just for your overall health. Vegetable oil is very bad for you. Cut that fat out. But the other fats, saturated, monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, keep them in your diet in the right amounts and you should be fine. Next question, should I cut carbs out of my diet? No. So carbs or sugar is on the hit list these days, as fat was on the hit list. Carbs are very dependent on what you do. You need carbohydrates to kind of function. If you train a lot, you're probably going to run off glucose, which is what most people run off. But if you're going to be doing glycogen dependent sports like training in gyms or doing field sports, you're going to need glycogen to fuel your muscles, which you need carbohydrates for. Now, if you're very sedentary and not doing a lot all day, then you can lower your carb intake. But you shouldn't cut out carbs completely. So a lot of people advocate the ketogenic diet these days. That's in vogue. Look, that diet works because, it puts some people in calorie deficit. For other people, it puts them way over their calories and they gain weight. But cutting out a macronutrient, whether it's fat like in the last example or carbs in this example, it makes it very hard to eat out. So if you can control your diet and be a hermit and not socialize at all, you can probably do whatever diet you want. But if you've got to, go out with friends and socialize and stuff, you probably shouldn't cut out a macronutrient because basically it'll just boil down to you eating whatever macronutrient you're eating on a plate, which makes it very hard. So I don't recommend cutting carbs for people. There's a right amount again for people, depending on who they are and their activity levels. If you're super active, you probably need more carbohydrates. If you're not super active, you can probably do it less and eat more fat. But it all depends on the person. There is a balance to these things and it goes from person to person, but no, you should not cut out carbohydrates from your diet. You should have a balance of protein, carbs and fat for your goals, and that's not that complicated, okay? Will fasted cardio burn fat faster? This one is an interesting one. So the idea is that if, let's say you wake up first thing in the morning and you have fasted and you do some walking or some running or some cycling, you'll burn more calories. Or you'll oxidize more fat, meaning you'll burn off more fat for energy. And the answer is yes, you will oxidize more fat as a substrate because you're fasted. However, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make much of a difference because you have to be in a caloric deficit to lose weight. So if the extra bit of cardio in the morning causes you to burn off some more calories and during the day you eat in a caloric deficit, you will lose fat or weight. But if you do the cardio in the morning fasted and then you eat at maintenance calories or in a caloric surplus, you will not lose weight. All right, so people will skew this as a way of losing fat, and it is a way of losing fat, but it's not the whole picture. So I wouldn't worry about it too much if you do it. If you do it and it helps you, brilliant. If you're doing it and you're wondering why it's not working, it's probably because you're not eating in a caloric deficit overall. Next one, I want to lose weight, but I don't know where to start. Yeah, that's a fair enough question. Simple, find out how many calories you need to maintain your weight, and then eat in a caloric deficit. Doesn't have to be a huge deficit. People ask, how do I do this? If you go online and type in a TDEE calculator, so Total Daily Energy Expenditure Calculator, there's hundreds of them online. Type in your details, they give you an estimate of how many calories you need to maintain your weight, to gain weight, and to lose weight. You can also just download a simple app like MyFitnessPal, enter your details, it'll give you your maintenance calories, then you can put in a goal you want to achieve, so weight gain or weight loss. If you're putting in weight loss, I stress pick the smallest one so it's achievable. and then it'll tell you your calories you need to hit. The advantage of using a tracking app for this is for people who don't understand calories, and I don't mean understand as in the concept of calories, I mean how much calories are in certain foods, which is understandable because, you know, they're not exactly, you know, in big writing on the labels. Just log your food just so you can see how much calories you're eating and how much calories are going in and out. So if you, let's say your maintenance calories are 2,000 calories a day, if you eat 1,800 calories day in and day out, you will lose weight. Slowly but surely, your body will oxidize fat to give you energy, so you keep going. And that's the key to it. So first we start, find out your maintenance calories and eat in a caloric deficit. The next question is, why am I hungry when I diet? Good question. So the reason you're hungry when you diet is basically your body is trying to adapt to your new lifestyle. So if you're used to eating 2,000 calories a day and you suddenly cut it down to 1,700 calories a day, your body has to adapt to that. And it's fine at first because you're motivated and your body's oxidizing fat, so you got a bit of energy. But as time goes on, your metabolism actually slows a bit because you're losing weight. So you're lighter. And then if you increase your energy expenditure further from exercise, that increases your appetite, and so you're eating less, doing a bit more, so your body's going to be hungry. And the thing that most people don't tell you about dieting is that you're going to be hungry. That's normal. That's like a normal thing. And there's nothing wrong with being hungry. The key with dieting is people will tell you eat, you know, high protein foods that satiate hunger, so you're not as hungry. Eat loads of green vegetables, so you pack up your stomach, so again, you don't feel as hungry. But the reality is you're probably going to be hungry on occasion, and you have to overcome that. If you're trying to be in a caloric deficit, hunger is a normal thing to have. And it does take a while to get used to it until your body adapts to your new level of eating. And that can take a while. So a lot of people will diet for 12 weeks. They'll get great success. Everything will be going great. They'll have lost the weight, but then they're still hungry. Like, why am I hungry? And slowly they'll go back to eating the way they were, increasing their calories again, and the weight goes back on again. And unfortunately, that's why a lot of people fail with diets. They're either lied to saying it's an easy thing, which it isn't. I think people need to accept that, look, dieting is not easy. And the second thing then is that they just don't get used to being hungry, or timing their food a bit better so they're not as hungry, or making better choices so they're not as hungry in the day. A big example is if you eat a big lunch, let's say you're on 1,800 calories a day and you eat a massive lunch, that's 1,000 calories. You have only 800 calories left, you know, or let's say you had breakfast, which is 500 calories, and then you had a lunch of 1,000 calories. You have 300 calories left to eat between, let's say, 1 o'clock and you go to bed at 10 o'clock. That's going to mean you're hungry. So you got to get better with your food timing. You got to get better with your foods you eat and different things like that. So hunger is normal. That is a normal thing when you're dieting. Don't beat yourself up that you're hungry or you're doing it wrong. It's normal. There are ways of kind of combating it, but it is a normal thing to be hungry until your body adapts to your new size, your new weight, and your new activity level, which does happen. It does normalize over time, but it just takes a while. Next question is, when is the best time to work out? So best time to work out is an interesting one. It all depends. All right. So reality is, if you're a strength athlete or you want to be your strongest, supposedly if you train 8 hours after you wake up, you're at your prime. So you're awake, everything's working, things are good. Reality is you're not a robot, so life doesn't work like that. The best time to work out is when you can work out. So if you have a half an hour in the morning to get a workout in, do it. It doesn't have to be an hour. If you've got an hour in the evening to work out, do it then. Get it in. The best time to work out realistically is what fits into your schedule, because life is chaotic and things can happen. The best advice I give to people for working out is put it in your schedule that you're doing this workout at this time. Then you know it's planned, so you'll plan around it rather than trying to react to the day and go, I'll fit my workout in. Don't think of it like that. If you want to work out, put it down on your calendar, your schedule, go, I'm working out this time. That's what I do. It'll become a habit and you'll plan things around it rather than trying to plan your day around it. So if you start work at 9 and you find it free in the morning when you don't have kids, you don't have to get breakfast, you don't have to get lunch, and you want to work out in the morning, do it then. If you find just before you go home that you can do it after work, do it then. Or if you're free during the day, do it then. The best time to work out is the time you can fit it in. Okay? Life happens. And the last one is, should I do the same workout every day? No. So realistically, no. Your body adapts to stress. So working out is actually a stress, regardless if that's going running, cycling, lifting weights. It's a stress adaptation is what you want. So you're putting your body under a little bit of difficulty, a little bit of strain. Your body adapts. You get a positive response. So for example, muscle building, you tear your muscles up, you tear them down, your body builds them up a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger hopefully, and then you go from there. Similarly with your heart and lungs, if you're going for a run, you train your heart, you train your lungs, you train your legs and all that jazz. Then you put them under strain, your body builds them up, builds a bit more capacity, makes everything a bit better, so you get a response. If you train the same every day, like the same weights, the same rep range, everything, the same distance, the same time for running or whatever, you're not going to get that stress adaptation eventually. Your body will adapt. I always say in the gym to people, unfortunately, it doesn't get easier, you just get better. As you get stronger, as you get fitter, you have to keep pushing yourself a little bit more out of your comfort zone, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more to see stress adaptation, to see results. And that's how you get results from your training, changing it a little bit every time. So no, you shouldn't work out the same every day. You shouldn't do the same movements every day either, just because you might get repetitive strain, or you might get injured from not giving muscle a chance to recover. But no, you shouldn't do the same workout every day. It should be varied. So you work a full body workout, covering all your bases. So working your heart and lungs with aerobic work, and working your actual muscles with resistance training as well. All right, guys, so that's another Q&A. If you have questions of your own, I'd love to hear them and we'd love to answer them. So you can ask in the comments below on whatever platform you're watching this on. So hope you have a good day and we'll talk to you later. Cheers.